Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Racers News Network Live. We have got a busy show for you tonight. We are going to kick things off in just a sec with the NHRA Division One Super Street JEGS All Stars rep headed to Dallas in a couple weeks, or a week actually. Of course, that's Frank Volpe, the other Frank, and
Yeah,
is that your mother?
yeah,
Yeah. Hi,
talking
Jen.
loud.
Talking loud. Um,
Yeah, yes, it's on. Thank you.
Listen, if we
aren't,
hear her
aren't
voice,
parents
she's got
great?
to join in. That's the rule.
Yeah. Aren't us parent types great? We're just enormous pains in the ass.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like I said, Jegs All Stars Super Street rep, first time, is that correct?
yes, it is.
2025 Northeast Super Street Association champion.
Yeah,
First time for that, right?
yes, it is.
And as of the other day, I forgot to look today because I was busy. You were fifth in divisional points in Division One. Hopefully that's still close to true.
I
But
haven't checked, so I couldn't even tell you.
all right. Well, I'll make sure while you guys are talking, I check.
All right. If you
But
say
and
I'm
of
fifth,
course,
I'll take your word for it.
all right. Of course, to my side, my partner in crime, Peter Sanka.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on? So, like I
How
said,
does my voice sound? It's going to be awful by the end of this interview. I'll tell you that.
oh, no worse than mine does, I'm sure.
Very good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so like I said, Frank is going to be heading out to Dallas shortly to represent Division One at the Jegs All Stars in Super Street. Um, had a pretty great season. Um, so Pete, why don't you go ahead and take it over?
What's up, Frank? How are you, buddy?
I'm all right. What's going on?
Same old, same old. By the way, I have your Dash 12 fuel cap, just so you
I
know.
I know.
I told your dad I wanted to mail it to you, and he's like, "Will you stop? We'll see." I'm like, "All right, that's fine."
That's
So
that's why I've been doing so well this year. It's the good karma.
that's absolutely. You know what? I'm never giving you that freaking thing back. If you could borrow something from me next year, I'd really appreciate it. Hey, first of all, congrats on, I wanted to congratulate you, but there's a bunch of things to congratulate you on. So congrats on everything. Um,
Thank you.
First of all, the JEGS deal. I mean, uh, that's something that not a lot of people get to experience. I know that you're gonna represent that proudly. It's no easy task to qualify, so definitely congrats on that.
Thank you.
Well deserved, well earned. Um, and then, a lot of the local racers know it, but not a lot of people know how competitive Super Street is at the Lebanon Valley Super Street Series.
Oh
North,
yeah.
it's, I mean, I've been putting up money for the number one qualifier for probably 4 or 5 years now, and I haven't even come close to collecting it. Which is my ultimate goal is just to collect my own one time.
Get your
Uh,
own money.
yeah, right. You killed it. Congratulations on the championship. I mean, when
Thank
you
you.
think about the people who have won that championship, Mike Fitz had a dominating year last year.
Oh
Ray
yeah.
Butler's won it in the past. I believe Grant Nichols has won it in the past. That's a pretty elite crowd of names that you're putting your name in with. So congratulations on that too. That's no small feat either.
Thank you. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of heavy hitters that race there that nobody would really know because they don't travel. But
Right,
if
right.
they, thank God they don't travel because
Yeah,
divisionals would be a lot harder.
isn't that the truth?
They're hard enough as it is.
Yep. It's funny because on any given day you could have 20 or 25 cars, and unless I'm in the line, there's very few people that you're going to look up and down and say, "Oh, I'd have no problem racing that car." They're all killers, and they know the track very well, and they know 1090 very well, and there isn't an easy duck in the bunch, that's for sure.
Well, I think that's part of what makes them so great there is being that they race there every single weekend. They know exactly what the track is doing, how to dial the car for it. They're very good.
They know that 3:30 in the afternoon 500s pickup. They know right when it's coming, when it's going to do it.
When the sun starts hitting the tree, what lane you want to be in. Absolutely.
Yeah. And they're no joke up there. They're really competitive. So let's start with the basics, Frank. Take us through the beginning of the year. And at what point did you say to yourself, things are starting to click this year. Things are starting to happen.
Well, after last year, I ended on a win.
Yep.
At the Dutch, which ended up being the Virginia makeup. So that was a great finish to the season. And I was hoping to just start off on the same foot. The first divisional of the year was Maple Grove. I was hoping to win again, make it back to back.
Sure.
That didn't work out that way. But I believe I think it was a quarterfinals I went out to race winner Tom Amorosi.
Yep.
So he's been having a good year too. 2 wins in divisionals for him.
Yeah.
He's a tough competitor.
Yep.
Yeah. And then from Maple Grove, we went to, where did I go from there? I believe the Epping National was my next
Correct.
NHRA race. And I ended up making it to the final there.
Yep.
I'd rather not talk about that result.
Happens.
No, that was another good race. Didn't work out on my end, but
Sure.
Nothing to be upset about in that weekend. That was a great weekend.
Yep. Yeah, without a doubt. And then that'll do the Lebanon Valley Divisional.
The Lebanon Valley Divisional I don't even want to talk about it. It was horrible.
The only
3 of us
had this year. I was hoping you'd say something about it.
Yeah. The 3 Volpe cars at the track, and not one of them made it to a second round.
I remember that. I remember you coming up to me and telling me that. That's right.
Yeah. You'd think 3 cars, somebody might make it through. No, we sucked.
I'm going to interrupt you for one quick minute because it's people like you and your family that I think about a lot, and it puts things in perspective for me. And like you go out and you're doing really good in the division, and you're doing good in JEGS points, and you're doing good in the Super Street points at Lebanon Valley. And you could come out and just whiff and lose first round and pack your shit up and go home. And it makes me think to myself, if someone like you could have that happen, then it's going to happen to everybody. And you got to kind of keep it into perspective,
Yeah.
I raced one of the Nichols killers. I don't even know which one it was, Grant Jr. or whoever. They're all bred to friggin' race over there anyway. But I raced him in the final of the Super Street race, and he went 10 red in the final. And I remember a couple of weeks before I went red, and I'm like, Jesus, how can I go red? And I think to myself, well, no one has more laps down the track than this kid. And if he could go red, and he came up to me and he goes, congrats, said, I guess I got all of that one, shook my hand and turned around and walked away. And that's the kind of stuff that stops me from grabbing the side of my motorhome and flipping it over. It's just, you got to keep it in perspective that, if Pete Biondo could do it and Frank Volpe Sr. and Jr. could do it, and who the hell am I to think that I should never turn a red light on,
Yeah. But I always try to think there are plenty of people that I don't consider myself to be a great racer, but there are plenty of people that I do consider to be great. People I do not want to line up next to when I roll up in the lanes. And when, unfortunately, that does happen, I got to just tell myself that, you know what? Everybody loses.
That's right.
He may be great and he may win a lot, but he doesn't win every race, you know,
Yeah,
they lose.
percentages might not always be in your favor,
Yeah,
but you definitely have a shot because the last
everybody is
I checked, that
beatable.
person you're racing isn't undefeated. So,
Yeah,
and for the record, the reason why I told you that story and I put you in that category is because I think you are a great racer.
thank you.
And it pisses me off that you're so friggin' young, that you're only going to get better. And that really pisses me off. So
Well,
stay
I
the hell
hope.
away, mate. And I'd rather race your father than you.
Well, I'm sure you don't remember, but I have raced you. You whooped my ass.
I whooped your ass once, and
Yeah.
it was probably lucky. And I'm guessing that if we were to race again, if I kept up to my end of the bargain, it would be a much tighter race. So, believe me, again, that's one of the things that there was a time, and I'll be completely honest with you. There was a time when I wouldn't have minded lining up against you, right? You were new to it. Your car wasn't state of the art like it is now. You didn't have nearly as many laps under your belt. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so impressed by you is because in a very short period of time, you turned into a rookie just starting out that you don't mind the draw to I don't want to be anywhere near that friggin' kid. Go away. Like if they had a 990 class at Lebanon Valley, I'd run that because I don't want to run you at 1090. So it's impressive, and I love that's one of the reasons why we have um, Taylor and her sister on the show a lot. We really love seeing the youth grow like right in front of our eyes. What do you got, Chris?
Um, from another one of the best in all of Super Street Land, Mr. Mares.
Yep.
He says to you, Frank, he's a great racer. He knew it when you were in your Camaro.
See that?
He had always told me, even in that car, that I was going to go on and win. He knew it. He told me.
And I will tell you that would be the equivalent of the Godfather speaking to you in 1090, telling you that you're going to be good. I can tell you one thing: Keith Mayers never came up to me and told me I was going to be good. So that's kind of tell you. That's kind
He'd
of
go
tell
up
you.
to Pete and say, do you have your tools packed so you can go home afterwards?
Exactly. Yeah. I hope you got your canopy put away because you're about to go on the trailer. All right. So enough of that craziness. You leave Lebanon Valley with your tail between your legs, but you're still in good shape as far as JEG points and everything goes. So what happens after that?
I'm trying to remember. I believe the next race after Numidia, was it Numidia?
The media double. You're right. Yep.
Yes. So I went into Numidia at that point panicking, to be honest with you, because I always try not to look at points.
Right.
Historically, anytime I've ever been leading a point series anywhere, I blow it. I look at the points, I say, oh my God, I'm in first, I got to keep it, and then I blow it. It gets to my head.
Yep.
So I knew I was in first in the JEGS All-Stars, and I knew that it was getting closer, and I was trying very hard to not worry about it, but it got to a point where before New Media, I was looking at the points.
Sure. Yep.
So I was looking at the points. After the first race, I had a third round finish in the first race of the double.
Okay, not bad.
And my two, I believe it was Dominic Bergis and Scott Lang, were right behind me.
Okay.
They also did well. Bergis had a runner-up finish for the first race, so that launched him up in points. So I found myself that night doing a lot of adding, trying to figure out who has to do what round, what has to happen.
You're writing on the side of your trailer with a Sharpie, trying to figure it out.
I was writing on like that like cardboard piece behind a notepad, like the back of a notepad. I was writing all my notes on that and calculator out, adding up points. And if he goes to this round, he'll earn this many.
Yeah.
Well, I believe it was second round when I got back to the trailer and the second race. When I got back to the trailer second round, my brother had told me that they were both out.
Oh, wow.
And I was still in, and I knew that was it. I was the all-star.
Oh, so okay. Now I don't know. The JEG schedule has changed since I was trying to compete in it. So that the second race at Namibia was the last qualifying race.
Yes, that was the
Okay,
cutoff.
gotcha. So
Yeah,
that's nice, right? You don't even realize that you win second round, and your family comes up to you and tells you you're good to go because everyone lost. That's
yeah,
pretty cool. That takes all the pressure right off, right?
absolutely.
Excellent. How did you wind up doing in that race?
That was also third round.
Okay, so
Two
consistent.
back-to-back third rounds.
And let's be honest, we know we've seen people win races in the division and not win championships. The name of the game is consistency,
Yeah,
and clearly you showed it because that's what got you through.
yeah.
Awesome, good stuff. So then you go to Epic. Did you go to Epic?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
How'd you do there?
So at the Epping Divisional, I had a semifinal exit
Very
against
nice.
the runner-up, Jason Mazzata, who was another great competitor.
Sure.
I mean, he's definitely a killer up there in
Yep.
New Hampshire.
Yeah,
I'd
right.
like to
Right.
avoid him at all costs.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. So
Yeah,
again, you had two 3 rounders back to back, a fourth round. I mean, it's again that's the consistency that we're talking about, and that's why you're going to go down and be the Division 1 rep for Super Street.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I try to. Obviously, I want to win every race, but
Everybody,
I tell myself, as long as I'm going a few rounds, that's all that matters. You go 3 rounds here, 3 rounds here.
sure.
It's all good points.
Yeah, I mean, no one ever. I mean, even me, I race like twice a year. There isn't a single time where I pull into the track and I don't think I could win the event. Obviously, I go home bitch slapped more than I don't. But at the end of the day, you never pull into a track thinking that you can't win the race.
No,
Why?
if you don't think you could win, why are you showing up?
You're
So
spending a
waste
lot
of
of
money.
money and you're just getting in the way. So you might as well
Yeah,
get out. Yep. Yeah.
exactly.
No. So, all right. So now take us to your Super Street Championship for the Northeast Super Street Association.
So that one, I started that one off with a win the very first weekend against Mike
Right.
Fitz, one of the best up there.
Yeah, someone that's no stranger to a final round, that's for sure.
So, funny enough, we ended the last race last season. It was a final, me and him, and he had that perfect run.
Perfect run against you. That's
Yes.
right.
So,
I've been sitting in your car in the final, like this old bastard. If he does it to me again, I'm going to drive into him.
so I went into that final knowing I don't have the best record against him, and he
Sure.
did give me a bit of a smacking the last time.
Yeah, a little bit. At least you know he wasn't taking you lightly. That's for
No,
sure.
I know he doesn't take me lightly, and I don't take him lightly for sure.
Right.
So I actually got extremely lucky in that
Yeah.
final round. I had an issue that's now been resolved with my transmission, where when it would start to get hot, it would put more, I guess, like more power in reverse when I would step on the trans brake button,
You
and
telling
it
me.
would kind of like rock me backwards out of the beam.
Right.
And so it would just continue to flicker the stage bulb.
Sure.
And when I would lift off of the gas pedal, ready to take my finger off the button and try to like bump in again, the light would go on and the tree would drop, and I'm 300 on the tree. And
Sure. Totally distracted.
happened a few times.
Right.
Lucky enough, I was two something on the tree, and he was, I think, 8 red.
Oh, okay.
So that was lucky.
So again, not taking you lightly.
No,
Yeah,
that was a lucky win.
that's all right. They
Yeah.
say you have one lucky round, right? Might as well be in the final.
The second race, I ended up being lucky enough to make it to the final round again,
Nice.
where my car did the same exact thing, and this time I was not lucky.
Yeah.
So that was a loss. That
Who did
was
you race? Who did you race in that run?
I know I'm going to butcher her last name. Laura LeCue, I think is
Yes.
how you pronounce
yeah.
it? Okay.
That's ironically that's the person who beat me in the semifinals at the divisional race.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
she's a tough
Oh,
competitor too. A great
killer. They
racer.
all are up there. Yep.
So yeah, she beat me in that final, which is frustrating. At that point, that's the second time I've raced her. And the first time was when I had blown up my motor.
Yep.
And then the second time was when the car did that. So I'm starting to think that she has some kind of jinx on me when
Some French
every
food
time I line up.
Yeah. Yep. So race
So
3.
going into the third race, it was a double weekend. It's the Saturday and Sunday right before the divisional.
Sure.
Saturday, I had hold on, I'm getting races mixed up. Saturday was the day I went to the final.
Okay.
That was the third race was Sunday, and I went out first round.
Okay.
And then that was my first round loss of the year. So I looked at that as not a great result for that weekend, but for the year and all,
Absolutely.
not bad.
Anytime you could be 4 or 5 races into the year and not have a first round exit, that's pretty damn good. Yep.
And then I made that 2 back-to-back when I went out first round in the divisional.
Wait a minute. Is it Lebanon Valley Divisional next?
Yes.
All right. So you got it all out of your system. Perfect.
So I believe the next race was a Saturday. I had a third round finish.
Yep.
Which wasn't bad. I had, I believe Mike Fitz and Laura both also lost third round, and I knew that they were the two right behind me in points.
Sure.
Now, at this point, I hadn't looked at points because, like I said, I look at points and then it gets in my head and I blow it. So I knew that I was still in first because I had the 2 finals, but I didn't know how much.
Right.
So going into the last double of the weekend, races, I believe they were 5 and 6.
Yep.
We had 7 races. I believe it was race 5 and 6. My wonderful friend Billy Blaker let me know that I was only 1 round ahead, which was great to know.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. And then I had to run Laura first round. I was 1 round ahead of Laura, and I ran her first round Saturday, and she beat me, which wasn't great.
Right.
She went a good couple of rounds, and when we went into Sunday, she was then 1 round ahead of me.
Right.
So we flip-flopped.
Sure.
Sunday, I went on to win the race, which was great. That gave me a boost.
And flip-flop back.
And then, yeah.
Yep.
And when we went into the very final race of the season, I was number 1 qualifier, which I believe gives me some points. And then Laura went out, I think, first round, and I went on to win that race too. So
awesome.
Secured that.
Good stuff. What do you got, Chris?
Yeah.
Lori had just commented a second ago. Frankie brought his can of whoop ass on the final points day for NESSA. Number 1 qualifier in the win, and that secured his championship.
Yeah.
All the money home that day. Good for you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So, I mean, by a lot of stretches, most people would consider this a dream season. I'm guessing that you probably have some more goals that you'd like to accomplish before you call it a dream season.
Absolutely.
That will bring us to next weekend and you making the trip down south.
Yeah. So we're going to leave Friday night, get going.
Awesome. Good for you. Who's going? Racing? Anyone else in your family qualify? What do you got going on?
So it's going to be me, my father, and my mother making the trip. Nick's got to stay home and work.
Yep.
And
good.
We'll be throwing the Top Sportsman car in the trailer as well. So we'll have the 2 of us out there.
Good. Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have to tell you how hard we'll all be pulling for you. And honestly, as far as we're concerned, you could be a first round or a win, and we're still all proud of you here. I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have represent us. So you go down there. You already made us proud. Just go have some fun.
Thank you.
The only
I'm gonna
thing
try.
the only thing I'm going to tell you is maybe in between time trials, just kind of take a deep breath, look around, and just kind of take it all in, because you're getting ready to do something that a lot of people dream about and can't get there. So enjoy it.
Thank you. I will
Enjoy it.
say I always had hoped that one day I'd be able to be a JEGS All-Star,
Yep.
but I kind of expected that I would be the division champ first.
Right.
You know, not always, but a lot of times it's the champ that ends up being the All-Star, and I just assumed that that's how it was going to work out. So
yeah, I'm actually a little surprised to see that and I don't want to make it sound like only fifth, because anything in the top 10 is awesome. Top 5 is really good. But I'm really surprised to see you in fifth place in points for the division, but enough points to win the JEGS. That doesn't happen very often.
no,
Like you said, it's usually the divisional winner that goes, or at least second or third place.
yeah,
And it's in the mix. And that's cool, because you don't always want the same person representing both things. It's nice to have the mix up, and that's the reason why their point series are at different, start and end times are different.
yeah. Well,
You are,
part of the reason I'm only fifth is I didn't go to Virginia, so I got 2 divisionals I didn't do yet.
I got you.
I got some catching up to do.
So if you go, how many races do you have so far?
I have 5. So there's a divisional in Texas, and then I have Cecil. So I'll have 7 this year.
Oh, okay. All right. So you can
So
you still got some work
some.
to do. Nice. All right.
Yeah, I got
Well,
that first round at Lebanon. I'd like to erase from history.
it go away.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, listen, I haven't turned into too much racing this year, but I'll definitely be tuning in to see how you're doing. And the best of luck to you. Have a safe trip, importantly, and have fun. And I guarantee, if you have a safe trip and you have fun, you'll be successful.
Thank you. I'm certainly going to try to have fun, but losing first round isn't too much fun. So let's hope.
You know what? You got another race to enjoy out there. Take in the experience. They're going to treat you like a king while you're there.
I hope.
You already won. Seriously, you already won. Go ahead.
And you finished third in Super Street Association with Rob.
Jesus.
Okay. Well, I will say that's a disappointment, because I went into that race second, so I finished in third. That was thank you, Keith. Thanks, Keith Mayers.
I don't even know why we have you on the show. You suck.
I do.
I was just thinking it would be cool at the final round of Super Street at Cecil. And nothing against Keith at all. Keith's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Either you or Taylor knock Keith out, and you and Taylor in the final round.
That'd be
that
cool.
Would be like the winner of the RNN Youth Crown. We'll have to get a belt made up or something.
Taylor and I, most races, we tell each other we'd like to meet in the final, and so far we have a 100% chance of failure at that. So,
yeah.
So maybe Cecil. You never know.
How that happens, right? It feels like some people you race 4 times a year. I remember the last year that I ran, I want to say competitive. I think I did like 5 races that year. I raced Jason Lawrence 4 out of the 5 races. It was the craziest thing. Second round, third round, we bang into each other. It was just weird. And then there's some people that I've never lined up against that I've raced with for 20 years. It's bizarre. But
just think about it, though. It'd be Ford versus Chevrolet, car versus truck, Guy versus girl.
Yeah. It's got all the makings of a perfect run.
Yeah.
And last race of the year.
Well, listen, you start packing your bags, get ready, start meditating, hit the practice tree or whatever you got to do. And best of luck to you guys and have a safe trip.
Thank you.
All right, my man. We'll be watching. We'll be cheering for you.
All right.
Frank,
Thanks.
best of luck.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
You're
Have a good
welcome.
one.
Thanks for
Hope to,
coming on and hanging out
Hope to
with
make
us
you
for a
proud
little
out
bit.
there.
All right.
You already made us proud.
All right. Thank you.
Take
Bye.
All right.
care,
Have a
buddy.
great night, Frank. All right. Frank Volpe III, our guest tonight, and your NHRA Division One Super Street rep at the JEGS All Stars in Texas. And Pete's checking his messages.
I am resending the Zoom link because he lost it. So bear with me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we have a last minute addition to the show this evening. Of course, I'm talking about our, I hope I pronounced his last name right, Ralph Miola.
Just
Sounds
call Ralph.
good. Yeah.
We're not fussy.
Miolla, Ralph.
Well, while we're waiting for Ralph, I have to check the score of the Yankee game. Still 1-0.
All right, so while he's doing that, I'm going to throw this out for those of you that haven't seen it. Plus, I want to actually hear your answer, even though I know it.
Yep.
But maybe you have time to explain your answer. Super Street, only
Yes.
class that does not have a national championship. Should it? Yes or no? Why or why not?
I just think that the class has developed a lot from its original intention. And I don't see it being any more beginner or any less competitive than any of the other .90 classes. It has proven its stay power. It's proven its competitiveness. And I mean, to only have one national event a year that we could compete at and to not be able to run for a national championship after all these years, to me, is just, I don't know, foolish. I don't think there's any other class. I mean, let's face it, most classes start out as exhibition. I mean, even top dragster and top sportsman started out as exhibition. I don't think there's ever been a class that started out as a non-world championship gone this long without given the opportunity to run for a national championship.
Okay.
I totally understand that watching throttle stock cars is like watching paint dry. I get it. Everyone needs a time to get up and go to the bathroom and go get a cheeseburger. And usually it's when the .90 cars are running. I totally understand that. But at the end of the day, I don't think we're any more or less entertaining than Super Gas or Super Comp. If anything, I will argue, biasly, obviously, that people could relate to our cars a lot more. They're not dragsters. They're not open body roadsters. Everyone's got doors opening and closing. It definitely is more relatable in Super Street than the other two .90 classes. I don't know. I don't understand. There's always, it seems like every 2 or 3 years, it circulates that, next year is going to be the year, but it never happens.
Right.
Okay, let me see here. Zoom.com. Join meeting. Ralph never did Zoom before.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I wish I'd known. I would have sent you the thing that I have.
Enter the
Oh,
code.
wow.
Enter the password. All right, let's see if that works. I gave him a blow by blow description. So, anywho, we
As
had,
we digress,
yeah, right. Um, Let me ask you a question. Were you at all surprised about the poll that you put up for the four wides?
about,
How do you feel about the four wides?
I mean, I get the entertainment value of it.
Yep,
I've never been to it because it's, I mean, it's too far away for me to
not
travel
local.
at this point.
Yep.
Um, Without actually seeing it in person, I'm not 100% sure if I can answer that question. I
It's
will say it does seem a little hard to follow, but I'm also following it online. I'm not following it live in person.
I will tell you that it is a little hard to keep track of when you're watching it on TV. But the thought of four of those cars running down the track at the same time is like it's something that I need to see at some point in my life.
Yeah. 40, what, almost 50,000 horsepower
Yeah.
running side,
What are they
side
calling it
by
now?
each.
12,000 a piece, 11,000 a piece. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, pretty crazy.
So again, I would like to at least see in person sometime. Then I can offer a legit judgment.
Right.
I think the online coverage kind of sucks because instead of it being one, two, three, four, winner, runner up, third, fourth, it's,
Sure.
this car was this one and but didn't win. This, then like three-quarters of the way down the list. Oh, this one won. I think that could be tweaked just a little bit. Maybe that would make me enjoy it a little bit more.
Right. Right. I mean, I like the fact that they're trying to do something different to keep things fresh and people on their toes. The only thing that I don't really agree with is I don't think it should be a points race.
It'd be
And
like the Winston Select thing.
right, which I had said in the comments when you put the poll up. I'd like to see it like an exhibition, big money, have some fresh faces in there doing something. I just,
Yep.
when it comes to the points, I don't think it should differ from what they do all year long to earn points.
Right. Because they did the select, if I remember correctly, because it's been, what, 25 years or so
It was
since
a
that
while ago.
happened. They did that at the US Nationals. It was like a prelude to championship or to
Right.
that weekend.
Yeah. I
Um,
like there was a race, and I feel like it was one of the Winston Invitationals, was they raced funny cars against dragsters. And they had like a handicap head start. It was pretty cool.
yep.
That was pretty
The
wild.
other thing, you made me just think of this by asking me that I would like to comment on. Strictly my opinion, nobody else has influenced it, told me I was wrong, right, or whatever. There's been a lot of talk about some races sell out,
Yeah,
some races are half full,
sure.
quarter full, whatever. And they want to know why. And I think, personal opinion, that the streaming part has a lot to do with it.
Yeah,
Because again, for somebody like me that can't travel far distances yet,
yeah,
I'd much rather sit at my desk or out on the couch.
sure.
My fridge is 7 feet away from me. I can turn the heat on, I can turn the air conditioning on,
Yep,
and I'm not turning the color of your car sitting in the grandstands.
right.
But obviously having gone to a lot of events in my youth and
Yeah,
before I got hurt, I understand the thrill and the attraction of being there. But I do believe to a certain extent the streaming part of it, and maybe even a little bit the TV coverage has a lot to do with the fact that a lot of the stands aren't selling out.
yeah, yeah. It could be. I
Because
mean,
again, you go to Virginia, hotter than the third level of hell.
Right.
Go to Vegas in the summertime, same thing. Go to Charlotte for the four wides, same
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
I mean, granted, it could be pouring ass rain for 3 out of the 4 days,
Yeah. Right.
but you know what I mean. Then the last day, it's again hot as all get out.
Yep.
You know, we're getting to the point where we as people don't want to sit in the goddamn grandstands
Right.
and turn lobster red.
Yeah. Oh, think we got somebody. The old SMS9, whatever the hell that is.
Model of phone he's using.
There he is. Now you just
Gotta
gotta
turn your
you gotta unmute yourself.
gotta turn your volume on.
You're muted. Maybe lower. I know it's lower left.
Bottom left.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
There he is.
We got sound?
We got sound, we got video, life is good.
I'm
How are
sorry.
you,
I thought
Ralph?
that was a link. It opened up as a picture. I'm like, oh no.
All good. Welcome to 2025, my friend.
Well, you know what? Like, you know what's funny? Like, I'm coughing because the last time I used Zoom, it was COVID. So,
Oh God, yeah, right.
yeah, Zoom and
All,
COVID are
all the
like, you know,
COVID dust came out at you.
Yeah, yeah, really.
yeah. How you doing, Chris?
Good. How are you, Ralph?
I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm doing wonderful. This is our Catalina wine mixer coming up at you. You know what I'm saying?
There you
We're
go.
going, we're getting crazy.
There you go.
Very cool.
Pete's gonna block me after this race.
All right, so let's talk.
Yeah.
No
Open
rules,
up.
no time. No time, no rules, however you want to say it. Coming up
Well,
this weekend.
Pete, I want to thank you for taking this whole thing by the horns, because you know that we're so distracted with small tire, all steel, all glass, outlaw, you know, all the things that kind of got this whole thing rolling.
Right.
And some of the opportunities for the top sportsmen and the bracket fest were sort of slipping through our fingers.
Sure.
So I think we have a plan that's going to be put things back on the rails. I
Yeah. So
posted. Go ahead.
let's just put everything into perspective. All right. We have a race that originally started with 4 classes: small tire, big tire, heavy, which is not the heavy like no box. It's heavy
No,
in
no.
the small tire world, and all
Mhm.
steel, all glass. And I've been working with Scott and Ralph for a couple of years now doing the chip draw stuff. And while the races are great, the cars are impressive, the competition is impressive, we needed more. We needed to give the guys more time to cool down while not having the track quiet. So it was Wayne's suggestion that they add top sportsman, top dragster, a couple of index classes, which they did. And in the need for even more, it was suggested that they do a bracket bash. Now, here's the problem with adding stuff on. If anyone's ever promoted anything in the drag racing world, you'll know how hard it is to just promote the 4 classes that they originally had. Then they started promoting 1150, 10.0, and 850. Then they took on Top Dragster, and now they're throwing bracket racing into the mix. And basically, they realized that, and Ralph, interrupt me whenever I get off the rails here, but they basically realized that they were just spread too thin. Raising money for the new classes wasn't necessarily a thought or a priority. So they asked me if I could help out. And I am by no means a bracket racing or top guru, but I have been to the track enough to know what's going to attract people to come and race.
Well,
So
yeah, I mean bracket index. It's the bread and butter of Lebanon. I mean that's we're the outliers in that scenario. So
right, right.
finding things that can involve the crowd. That's
Yep.
really
In stuff that, because we kicked around Instant Green, then we kicked around Pro Dial. And I know it's looking from the outside looking in, like we keep changing our stance and we keep, bouncing around. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to attract the most racers, the most money, and give
yeah.
everyone the best time that they could have. And I
Well,
will tell you that input from Sue and Dan Bell, input from Wayne, and input from a lot of racers that reached out to me got us to where we are right now. So
no, you know what? And there's no problem. We haven't even last year we Bracket Fest prior to this was 1150 index. And
correct.
we didn't get the sticky on that number like we think we could get with a bracket class. And then we
Right.
were just trying to do one bracket class. And
Yes.
then I think we kind of shelved it. And then when the flyer came out and then the days roll on, it's getting real here. Hey,
Yep.
Instant Green ain't gonna work if I'm actually thinking about going to this.
Right.
So now we're a traditional box, no box.
Yes.
We've
Yep.
boosted the prize. It was only 1,500, but now that we're doing two different unique portions of that, we're going to boost that another $1,000
Yep.
and give away more of the prizes. So we're going to have about a $2,500 cash prize pool, and then
Right.
probably about another 1,500 or maybe 1,000 in prizes. So.
Right.
I mean, that's what we've done since we put the flyer out.
Yes.
This
Yep.
year. So these are like improvements along the way. So if you go and you look at the latest version of Bracket Fest, it'll resemble something that you're used to at Lebanon Valley.
Right.
It's going to be $100 all in. That gets you your track fee. That gets you your entry into Bracket Fest, and that'll all happen at the main gate.
Right.
So anything else is going to be paid separately at the merch/NTNR entry tent.
Yeah.
But and then the other thing, thanks to you, Pete, Top Dragster, Top Sportsman, we were getting complaints that, comparatively speaking, the payouts versus the buy-in is expensive. The problem with having a Top Dragster and these index races alongside our heads-up racing is we do an extreme amount of prep. At this point, we've got somebody. The track usually handles all that. We've got somebody independently handling that, and the track is doing it as well.
Right.
Those things just generate more costs. Is that a problem for a typical Top Sportsman, Top Drag? Probably not. But this is how we roll. I mean, if you wanna help us in our backyard, this is the cost of us doing business. Now, with that said, what we could do is, if we see the car count go from 20 plus, we'll boost that prize from 2,500 to 3,500. So we'll come out another grand on that if the participation's up. If it goes to 32 cars, we'll boost it to 4,500. We still have second
4,800.
or 4,800. Okay, well then I have to change that on the fly. So okay, so it's 4,800. My apologies if you see the flyer.
And I think you got it right on the flyer. You put 4,800 on the flyer. Yep.
You know what? If you see a lot of things flying out of no time, no rules, it's from me.
Right.
And I'm just like, so it's world in motion. Sometimes I hear about my errors after things get released. But Pete, we are back on the rails. We're trying to fortify Top Dragster, Top Sportsman, correct Bracket Fest to be something that's more, I don't know, conforming to the typical, bracket racer at Lebanon Valley.
Typical day at Lebanon Valley. Yes. Yep.
And Pete, thank you for your $500. That's great straight line performance. We really appreciate that. Thank you for making Scott and I pay $500 more.
Yeah, I had to get into their wallet too, just to make it a little more lucrative. But there's something that I want to stress to you guys, and I'm obviously, first of all, I'm honored that Scott and Ralph asked me to get involved and to help out. That makes me feel good. That makes me think that they have a decent opinion of what I'm doing with my racing program and that I'm able to help out. I'm passionate about making this end of their race as good as it could possibly be. And basically, what I told them is if you want me to come on board, we don't have a lot of time left this year to blow this thing out of the water. But if you guys come and you guys support this and you show up and show out, what that's going to do is that's going to make me get on the phone and start talking to people so that I can get sponsors on board. And next year, we could blow this thing out of the water. There's no reason why bracket racers can't be racing for a $5,000 pop. There's no reason why Top Sportsman, Top Dragster can't be doing the same or more for less entry fees because we have sponsors that want to get involved and help out.
I would love to see that, Pete. Absolutely.
Yeah, basically what Ralph and Scott do on the no time side is what I would try and do on the bracket side.
That's cool.
Again, I'm going out on a limb here, and it's kind of a big ask, but even if you're not crazy about the entrance fees or the payouts, please come to this race and support it. And my promise to you is if you do, you'll have something that you'll really want to attend next year when we get some power behind us and we make this thing happen.
I can't agree with more, Pete, because you got to remember when you fund a race and you got 7 classes, we're talking to the people that are probably most associated to the classes that we're closest and dearest to. Sure. So, and we're relying on those sponsors, those businesses, those racers that come in those classes, right, to help fund also these other bracket classes that we're trying to do too. Because basically, funding a race is it's like you're filling a pool as far as you think you need to be to get the rest from the race.
Right.
And,
yeah, right.
And if you get a class that's really, like last year, no offense to the big tire guys, we had to throw $3,000 in sponsor money just to pay our bills on that class.
Right.
So you don't want to make those errors 2 times. You don't want to remake that error. So
no, I mean, eventually it's going to get to the point where it's not feasible to put the race on. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, I mean, but Scott and I are not afraid to fail spectacularly. This class is this. Like if you notice, heavy was an evolution that became all steel, all glass. Right. 850 was 650. We kind of we've moved things around because sometimes it's the same fucking thing, but you say it differently and everybody wants to come. So we're trying to figure out that sweet spot. Pete, your involvement, trying to legitimize our presence with bracket racing and index with this. I want to try to have them commingle and maybe even figure out a cool angle. That's why we went with the instant green, because we're like, okay, well, what's the Ralph and Scotty wheel spin that's going to make this ownable to us? Right. So I'm still open for that because I want that sticky that's going to make it ours.
Yes.
And Pete, together, that's going to be, together with us, that's how we roll. We're going to try to figure out how to make it ownable, how to make it no time, no rules, and also how to make it Lebanon Valley. Because Wayne's got a 10-year deal. We got a future there. You know what I'm saying? We got a future there. A lot of the heavy money's been spent on the equipment that we need. Right. You know what I mean? And we've got a model, and we've got people that follow us now that know that they can rely on testing. It's not even just the racers. I mean, we get, Total Induction's one of the sponsors. He brings 4 cars at every rental because he knows that, with some of his top guys, it's going to get down. So that's what's happening on that side. But to me, it's a Lebanon Valley thing. It's not a, whether you're a heads up guy or you're a bracket guy, it's a race thing. It's a Lebanon Valley thing.
We had a talk earlier today about last night when we did the live. A lot of people were suggesting Pro Dial like Cecil County has. And that is a 5/10 Pro Tree bracket race. And everyone jumps in on that. So it's electronics and non-electronics race together, which again, I wouldn't be opposed to that, but here's the issue. You don't want the regulars that run at Lebanon Valley to say, well, I've never run on a 5/10 Pro tree before, so I'm not going to race. So again, after talking to Sue and Dan Bell, they suggested that if you keep it more of the same, like what everyone's used to, that's how you're going to get the most racers. Now, again, that's how we're going to do this race. As you can tell, Scott and Ralph listened to feedback, which is the whole reason why we're doing this quick shuffle the week before the race. If we get feedback that something else would work better, we're not opposed to trying it. But right now, we wanted to give you guys the old pair of slippers, some that you're going to feel comfortable getting into, and that will make you bring your car out for one more weekend before you put it in mothballs.
And bravo for Sue and Dan to chime in too. I appreciate
They
it.
helped a lot, and that's one of the things we love about Lebanon Valley is the employees aren't just employees. They give a shit about the track, the racing, the competitors, the spectators. They care. If they didn't care, they would sit back and say, "Who gives a shit if 5 cars show up? That's all the less entries I got to do in the computer and all the less envelopes I got to stuff, right?" But they're not
Absolutely.
like that. They care
No,
about.
it's a family affair up there. I mean, it really is.
Real quick, is you had said that if you go to 20 entries, you're going to pay out 3,500 on
Yep.
top. Okay, I don't know if you guys could see this. You probably can't. Well, maybe you can. All right. So $175 times 20 entries is exactly what your payout is. All right. So no one's getting rich on this. And the reason why it's not as attractive of a deal is some of the things you see advertised, like a race coming up at Maple Grove, is because due to our lack of whatever you want to call it, we didn't have time to secure any sponsorship, which is one of the reasons why they're bringing me on board. So I promise you that if you guys come out and support this race and show interest, I'm going to get some money into these classes so that the payout doesn't look like this next year. That's what we're going to try to do, but no one is getting rich off of the $175 entry fee and the $3,500 payout. I mean, we're just looking to break even. That's all we're trying to do. So come out and support this race, and we promise you that it's only going to get bigger and better from here.
Yeah, I mean, also too, Pete, just to expand on something we talked about earlier. We were talking about, some pay out 70-30, some pay out 80-20. We pay out 100% to the winner, but I would imagine that, typical sportsmen might approach each other before the finals and make a deal if they want. If that's your style, we leave it up to the driver in that case.
Right.
So
and again, next year we get some more sponsorship. We could advertise, 5,000 to win and 2,000 for runner up, and if you win the 4th round, you get your entry fee back. But the only way we're going to be able to do that is if we bring more money in. The only way we can bring more money in is with sponsors, and sponsors are only going to want to support races that have good attendance. So it's got to start somewhere, and we're hoping that this is going to be the first step to get this to something big. Because I will tell you, if you're coming to this race to bracket race or run Top Sportsman, Top Dragster, you are really going to enjoy the show that the Scott and Ralph side of it put on, because between the super fast cars on small tires and the nitrous and the superchargers and chip draws and calling each other out and grudge racing, it is an absolute blast to watch. And that's the reason why I've worked at this race for the past 4 or 5 years without even being able to compete, because I didn't have a car that fit any of their classes. But I still went up there with the wife in the golf cart just because it was so much fun to watch the race. So that's going to be a fun package for anyone that comes up.
That's the other thing too. Just, if there's any, fans and stuff, people maybe who hung it up, come out to Lebanon Valley and just support the race, because these cars and the traffic traction that we've been able to develop alongside Lebanon Valley, Derek Lobin's family. I mean, there's been a lot of charitable hands that have kind of just tried to, push the program along to get to where we are right now. And the kind of caliber of cars that you're going to see at No Time No Rules is unique to any, because they look like grocery getters. They have flat hoods, they have crank windows, they have no wing, and they will go and they have a tire about this wide, and they will go as fast as an 80s funny car. No shit.
So it's funny that you say that, because I wanted to put this as a comparison. And this is by no means a dig at anyone who runs funny cars. But 2 weeks ago, they had Funny Car Chaos up at the Valley, which, by the way, was a dynamite show. And if you have the opportunity to go check it out next year, go, because it was awesome. But to put this into perspective, the majority of the cars that are on Scott and Ralph's side of the race are faster than the majority of the funny cars that were racing at the track 2 weeks ago. So
I mean, we're talking about real cars that are.
I mean, all fiberglass body, steamroller tires, big hood scoops. It's if you come to this race, I promise you, if you're not impressed with the performances that you see, you're not a fan of drag racing, because it's so impressive.
It's technology on full display. I mean, really, fuel management, computers, technology, tuners, really like grade A tuners come alongside these cars to tune them. It's just like a kind of racing that you've never seen at Lebanon before. Not to overshadow anything bracket, and we love those guys, but the kind of racing that we've bringing to Lebanon Valley is pretty unique. I mean, at least for the area, for sure.
It definitely is, and
the weather's looking good.
When you guys fill it, is the fastest cars in the Northeast.
Yeah.
That's no BS. It really is. And if you come and check it out, you're going to like it. And if you want to come and race at it, you can do that too, because we got a class for it.
Absolutely. I mean, you'll see the quietest, fastest car you've ever seen too. These twin turbos just go down like they're on a string.
Yeah.
Crazy. And this year is called straight. It's called
plus cars figuring out how to make a friggin' bicycle tire hook up and go down the track. And I'll tell you what, it's no joke.
Well, Saturday, October 4th, we're having a prepped rental, and that's where all the guys are going to have a free-for-all, testing the cars out, sizing things up. And that's going to be its own show. That's open to the public. You can come out and watch and see all these gangsters going flat out.
Yep.
And then later in the day, we have some big money grudge races. Probably two of some of the fastest cars in there that Pete knows some of the things they've run. It's unbelievable. They're going to go at it. We have a couple of grudge races of some of the young guys that are coming up and running. Yep. And then we're going to have a little guys shootout. These are the guys that have, like, maybe a turbo on an LS they pulled out of a Tahoe. Right. It's running pretty good. Pete, you're building a car just like that because you can't help yourself. Yep. And these cars are sexy. They're fast. They'll drive to the store and back. Right. And we have a little test. What we often do with our heads-up classes, we have a test bed, and we do it at our rentals. And that's what we're going to do. We have an 8-car shootout. We're racing in shootouts before even the race happens. Right. So that's on Saturday if anybody's interested. And then Sunday is going to be crazy, Pete. You know the deal.
I can tell you, the kids are going to be collected in school on Monday because I'm going to be tired. It's going to be a lot. Looking forward to it.
You got to get your chip hand.
I'm loosening it up now. We're getting.
We appreciate you, and Chris, we appreciate you too, man. And thanks for
anytime. I'd love to come out and check it out sometime.
This
year's still out for me, but hopefully next year.
Yeah,
I hope you're doing well, my friend.
A little indicator. One of my favorite No Time No Rules moments was, I believe it was Saturday night after racing was done. We all got in our golf carts and we were hanging around close to the starting line. talking to
Yeah.
Wayne and whatever. There were 3 or 4 of us, and friggin' Donnie Curtis rolls up in his gold suit. So for those that don't know, Don Curtis has a Ford Fairmont that's gold, and he dubbed the car Gold Member. And he came up in an all gold suit, and we all just fell on the floor. It was the
Yeah.
funniest I have ever seen.
Well, he won a grudge race, so he came out with his cash, and he had like an all gold suit he bought on
Oh,
Amazon or
God,
something.
it was so
So I
freaking
don't
funny.
know. He brought the house down. I mean, it was like,
But that's the kind of stuff that you're going to experience at
you know,
this
we
race.
practice. You know what? We have lots, and then we have import guys that like the really fast import guys. I'm not
Yep,
talking about like the axle breakers. I'm talking about the rear wheel drive. You
sure.
know, guys who just there's no bad passes in the extreme import world.
Well, you got that right. Yeah, yeah. They
So
will bounce off the wall and go through the stripe and consider it a success. It's because we
absolutely.
Like the 200-mile-an-hour Mitsubishis.
Oh yeah, or the little Starlet with a wheelie bar as long as the car. And
yeah.
those things run good, man. They run so
Those
good.
cars make my car look long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome. All right. So the newest flyers out. We got
yep,
Top Dragster, Top Sportsman's going to pay 3,500 if we get 20 cars or more. It's going to pay
yep,
4,800 if we get 32 cars or more.
yep.
Yep. And then we have
And
second. Good.
And did you raise the minimum to 540?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so the originally the minimum was posted as 520. We raised
Yep.
it to 540 to conform with NHRA rules.
So
So
we did that. So
yep,
we're just rolling out the red carpet a little bit
I
longer for
can't
you.
stress to you guys enough that every time someone reached out to us, we listened, and if we could make the change, we made the change. People were talking about payout, we adjusted it. People were talking about the minimum for top, we adjusted it. People were saying they wanted 2 classes for the gambler, for the bracket bash. We made the change. They wanted the full tree. We made the change. I mean, we did everything that we could feasibly do to the point where we stopped just short of Wayne coming over to us and choking us because we were changing things again. But we're listening. We're going to do whatever we can to make the race as good as it can be.
Well, you know what? We unfortunately we just go by car count. Car count is our success.
Yes. Yep.
Everybody having a great time is good and all, but filling a class out and kind of getting it to level where we thought it would be with the money we earned is really the
Yep.
goal. And Pete, if you know what, we look forward. And also, I just want to finish it out. We have 850, which is awesome. Dana
Yep.
with the '69 Corvette won. One.
Badass. Yep.
That was a great win. 10-0, everybody loves 10-0. Grant and his kids have been in that and been successful.
Right.
And then we have Bracket Fest, which is, now becoming Pete Sanka's baby.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I would welcome your participation at a Ralph and Scotty Wheels level at what we do, but towards the bracket side.
That would
coming
be the
together,
That's absolutely the goal. I would love to have a $5,000, $7,500, $10,000 race. I mean, that would be friggin' awesome. That would be awesome. So,
well, things could Pete. You see, I mean, this was a COVID race that
right.
started out as like a Sunday. Hey, would you let us, tip in with the test and tune?
Sure.
And then here we are now, and also I would be not doing anybody justice if I didn't thank Lebanon Valley, and Wayne, his
Yep.
participation, his willingness to work with us, as a team is been the only reason we've come back. Seriously.
And more importantly, his willingness to educate us, right? Because you guys weren't born promoters. You didn't grow up in a family of promoters. You had
I have a marketing degree, but not a track degree.
But you guys had an idea, and Wayne sees promoters about 30 times a year. So he was able to help guide and shape and mold. And let's face it, in a way, this is kind of his baby too, because he's had a lot of input into what's going on.
Well, also too, I feel like it's kind of happened while he's taking on more as well. So,
Right.
the stakes are higher to have a better entertainment to evolve the track to what people are looking for. And
Yep.
that's not just no time, no rules. It's
Right.
tracking, it's prep. It's drawing those Cecil dollars and interest,
Sure.
like that's up towards the track. So
Yeah.
we work
Yep.
closely, and he's always got great ideas. As the cost got more to do these prepped rentals,
Yep.
him and Scott went to work together to add 2 hours. Guys
Right.
love that.
Right.
In a 7-hour rental, I mean, you can really get a lot done. You could take 5 really good, meaningful passes with plenty of time to cool down in that kind of
Absolutely. Right.
time frame.
At a normal
And
4 or 5 hour rental, you're not getting that. And how many people would pay an extra $50 to get an extra 2 hours? Right? Because at
we push the envelope. These things are more expensive than ever.
$155 for 5 hours, no one's complaining. But 175 for 7 hours, and people are like, wow, that's kind of a lot of money. But when you consider what you're getting, it's really
It's
not
great.
a lot of money, you know?
And you know what? Lebanon Valley, you'll see on Saturday, they give us a lot of attention too. I mean, it's the place is ours for the day.
Right.
What we need and how it goes down is all matters.
Yep.
It's not just, hey, you got the place, whether you spin or not. No, it's we got people now that are looking up where you spin, what happened, how does it go,
Yeah,
what do
right.
we put down, chop chop,
Yep.
But it's cool. Hey, look, Pete, you've been here from the beginning. I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
every
Yep.
year is a little bit better, and it's more fun. We learn something, we dump something, we modify something, but we just keep doing it, and that's how we're going to get to the next level.
We're gonna make it bigger and better.
Appreciate you guys.
Ralph, thanks for your time. And in a couple of days, we're gonna have a couple cold ones together.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to go back to work all night. So,
Awesome.
all right, guys. Hey, take care. Thanks, everybody. And I'll see you on Saturday and Sunday, man. No time, no rules, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ralph.
Take care, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So there you go. We interviewed Frank. We interviewed Ralph. We know what's going on this weekend in Texas. We know what's going on this weekend at Lebanon Valley. If I don't lose my voice by then, life will be good.
I would just like to say, Alex, actually, I got 2 things to say before we head out of here. People can say what they want about Lebanon Valley, but they put on some great shows and they have some great shows coming in.
Yes,
Shining example right there. Dover this past weekend. Funny Car Chaos the weekend before that. The Dues and Twin 10Ks.
the divisional.
Plus everything else they have.
Yep.
$2,000 to win. What is it? Every weekend for.
I think they have quite a few 2,500 to win, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. So never knock the Valley.
Yep.
But
Good stuff.
real quick, last thing I want to talk about, Mid-Atlantic Super Series champions. We're going to talk to Rob about everything else in 2 weeks, but I have the champs. Top dragster, Butch Boucher. Top sportsman, John Richmond III. Super Comp, Dave Rowe. Super Gas, Mike Lane. Super Street, take a wild guess.
Mr. Mayers.
Keith Mayers. This was his 9th championship in Mid-Atlantic Super Series.
Unbelievable.
I
haven't won 9 rounds in Mid-Atlantic.
Stock Super Stock combo champion was Bubba Linke, and juniors, again, a name that should not shock anybody. Paul Stelma.
Yes, sir.
And he's lighting it up in his first year of Stock Eliminator too.
He is. Yes, he is.
So, Pete's gonna be off next week. I think you got that thing to go to, right? Aren't you headed out, or is that the week after?
No, I am going Thursday night to Florida.
Thursday night?
Yeah.
Okay. Pete may or may not be here next Tuesday, but we're gonna have Seth Noble from New England Dragway on. Week after that will be Rob Keister from Mid Atlantic Super Series. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is how Racers News Network Live does that. Best of luck to Frank Volpe III
Definitely.
at JEGS All Stars in Texas. Congratulations to 9-time champ Keith Mayers. And if you're headed out to race this weekend, if you're headed to Lebanon Valley for the events there with Ralph and Scotty and Pete and that crew, have a good time. Enjoy, drive safe, race safe. We'll see you all
And
later on.
best of luck to your wife in recovery from her surgery.
Yes, hopefully she will be home tomorrow.
Make sure you tell her that we're all asking for it.
Absolutely. And oh, one other quick shout out. Jamie Blake, um, Jay's nephew, is helping me out doing some work on my wife's car for me. So I wanted to give him a shout out, say thank you very much for taking time out of your evening to do the brakes on my wife's SUV for inspection. So
Well, good
appreciate it
stuff.
very much.
It's racers taking care of racers, right?
Yep.
Good deal.
Feel better. We'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.
See ya.